Hi, this is Dan from 123muse.com, and we've got a really cool tutorial for you here. We're going to connect Lightroom to a Flickr account, and we're going to create some albums inside that Flickr account. And why do we need that in 123muse, you may ask? Well, Chris has made a really cool new widget that creates a really cool looking, nice, crisp, clean gallery and adds that into your Adobe Muse website. And what you can do with that? Well, you can publish the pictures straight up from Lightroom that go straight then into your Adobe Muse website. Or you could set up a site for a customer, and if they were a photographer or someone that used Adobe Lightroom, or even just connect to Flickr, they could update the pictures themselves, they could send their new pictures, and it would automatically be updated inside their Adobe Muse website without you as the web designer having to go back in and add and remove pictures from their galleries all the time yourself. So let's dive straight into this. So first of all, let's take a look at how to connect Lightroom to Flickr. So I've got Lightroom here open. This is the new CC version, which is awesome. And you can see that I've got a bunch of different pictures, and we're going to connect to Flickr, and then we're going to make 4 galleries. Each gallery has 10 pictures each, and then those galleries are going to be included in the Adobe Muse website. We're in the library module, and Flickr is part of Lightroom's regular online services, publishing services. So you don't have to download any additional updates or third-party apps inside of Lightroom to do this. You just click on Flickr to set it up. And once that is open, you're going to want to click Authorize. Then click OK, and Flickr will pop up in your browser. If you're not logged into to Flickr, or you're with your Yahoo account, it will prompt you to log into that. We're already logged in, and our login is saved in this browser, so we'll click OK, Authorize, Launch Application. We're done with that. Okay, so that was it. That was us connected. Let's take a look at some of the options now that we have inside of this Publishing Manager dialog box. So we want to put a description in there if we want to. We could do that so that if we had a number of different Flickr accounts that we were connected to, then we could choose one specific one. Going to call this 123muse. So let's take a look at this here. So take a look at set Flickr title, use IPTC title. So we're going to leave that as that basically will pull the title for the picture from the metadata of the photo itself, and replace existing titles when updating photos. We'll take a look at that in just a little bit, but we're going to keep that the way it is. We'll leave the video stuff as it is, although we're not importing video right now. And all the rest of the stuff in here is grayed out, so we can't change the size of the pictures or anything like that, but that's just fine anyway. Okay, metadata. What kind of metadata do we want? Well, we're just going to leave the copyright only. Do we want to put a watermark on this? No, we don't, but that would obviously be handy for depending on who your customer was. In privacy and safety, do we want to keep this public or set it as private? We're going to keep this public, as all these pictures are going to be available and want everybody to be able to access them without having to type in a passcode. And that's it in the privacy and safety settings. So I'm going to click Save. And there we go. We've got that. It's by default created an album called PhotoStream, but we're going to create a couple of different albums. So we want to create an album for each of these albums that we have in our folders library. So if we want to add a new album, we right-click on the Flickr icon, and we have the ability to create a smart album, create a regular album, set an album as a target album, duplicate a published collection if we didn't mind that we had the same pictures in the Flickr more than once, add a selected photo to a specific album, publish now, mark to republish, and show in Flickr. Show in Flickr would open up our browser so that we could see our Flickr pictures in the browser. Publish now, whenever you create something new in here, you click publish, and that's how it either sends new pictures up, new albums, or if you've edited a picture, that's how it refreshes that picture and makes sure that the current edit is up there. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an album, and this one is going to be called Landscape. We could, if we had all our pictures selected, we could leave this as include selected pictures, and it would automatically include those. We could make new virtual copies of these pictures, which is the same as making virtual copies inside of Lightroom. But I'm going to uncheck that, and we're just going to create this landscape gallery. So now, once that landscapes gallery is created, I am going to select all my pictures by selecting the first one, then holding Shift down and selecting the last one. I'm going to drag these pictures over to my landscape gallery and drop them in there. And there we have it. That is ready to go now. Okay, so now I've clicked on the landscape gallery, and this has opened up a separate Flickr dialog at the top, and it's ready to publish. So I click that, and as we can see in the progress bar at the top left hand side, this is now publishing that collection up to Flickr. So that's fantastic, but as this is already doing this, it's working in the background, we will go ahead and start doing the same thing for the other 3 galleries. So we're going to create our bridal gallery. We are going to create our automotive gallery. And we are going to create our architectural gallery. And we're going to do just the same for these. I'm going to go to the architectural gallery in my folder section of my library and select all of those and drag those over to my architectural album. I'm going to go to my automotive, drag those over to automotive, go to my bridal, drag those over to my bridal. And now I am ready to publish all of those, so I'm going to go through and publish each one of those. Publish, publish, publish. Here we go. So now we can see at the top that the progress bar is saying that there's 4 operations going on. So it's doing all of that in the background for me, publishing all of those in the background. And that is it. That is your albums up on Flickr and ready now to be included into your Muse website via the widget that Chris has created. You're going to love how this works and how it looks. But we're not done just yet. We're going to take a look at another thing inside of this. So let's go to, we're on the first album, the landscape album. And while we're in the landscape album, let's just say we're doing some work with somebody. They say, hey, I need you to do a bit of an edit on this picture. Okay, so we're going to open up one of the pictures, edit it, and republish with the edit. So I'm going to double click on one of these. I'm going to click the D button to open Develop Module. I'm going to go to my presets, and I'm just going to go to, let's see, it doesn't really matter which one, but so one that makes a little bit of a difference. Aha, my Baja preset. Okay, so that looks pretty cool. And there we go. That's updated. So say now that was something that the customer had wanted. Now that we have done that, we can see that now in our landscape gallery, in the library module, that it has pulled up that one of the pictures has been modified. So it's asking us do we want to republish that? Well, yes, we do. So we click the publish button. There's one photo to update on this. Okay, so we're going to click to replace that. And now what that's doing is now that's updating that picture on the Flickr album with the picture that I have just modified. Just as easy as that. Just as easy as that to add that picture in. Now, what if I wanted to add some more pictures in? Well, do it just the same way. I could say now, let's go into the architectural and let's drag one of the architectural pictures over to our landscape. So now we see that in our landscape module there, we have 11 pictures. Click into that. At the top there, we see that we have a new picture to publish, and we could go ahead and publish that. And this is, going to add one of the wrong pictures into our landscape gallery, but we're going to take a look at how to remove that picture. So there we have it. We can see that that picture has been published up to our landscape gallery inside of Flickr. So now let's take a look at removing it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on it and I am going to remove from collection. Now, when I remove a picture from the collection like that, I also have to press the publish button as well, because basically this is sending a message to Flickr that I want to remove that picture from that gallery, and so it needs to have the publish button. It doesn't mean that we're republishing. When we click publish at that point, it just means that by clicking the publish button, we're sending a message to Flickr saying, hey, update the gallery to the way it is now. The way it is now is that it's had that picture taken out of it. So now we have our pictures inside our gallery, inside of Flickr, and we've taken a look at updating a picture so that we can republish it. And we've taken a look at adding pictures to the albums in Flickr after they've already been published. And we've also taken a look at taking a picture out of an album that is on Flickr. So the next thing to do now is to go over to Chris and take a look at adding these albums into our Adobe Muse website and take a look at the cool things that we can do with that. Thanks for watching.